Clap.
Clap trap.
Yeah. Welcome to episode 5, I think. Episode 5 of Lost and Lazy. We hope you enjoyed our new intro song, which was made by Wesley or Wes, depending on how you want to call him.
It's Wes.
He could not make it this week. But you get the lovely voices of myself, Adam, Bran, and Waffle, which I'm going to let each one of them tell you about how their week's been. Let's start with Waffle.
So far my week was pretty good. Nightingale came out, so I've been playing pretty much that and my usual Hunt Showdown in Pal World. That's been my week.
How has Pal World been going?
I haven't been playing as much as Pal World.
Yeah.
Not that I just been working a lot of early hours. Been going in at like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, so I haven't really been playing games that much. So
Yeah.
and then Nightingale came out.
Did you get guns yet on Pal World?
Yeah, I've had guns for a while.
Okay. Like, what's the...
I don't have any like the rocket launchers, but I can at least craft pistols.
Oh, that's cool. So when you shoot a pal, do they die? Or do they, like... Is it like a knockout?
So they pass out? No, they die. They die.
Okay.
And apparently, like, if you sit around long enough, other pals will go over and eat them.
No.
Dang, cannibalism?
Yeah.
That can't be true.
I've seen some videos. I don't sit around long enough to see, but I've seen some videos where like pals go over and they like bend down and like look like they're eating it, and then they disappear.
That's fucking wild.
Well, they got to get rid of the body somehow.
No, I know, but like
that's way cooler than them just disappearing.
Wow, that's crazy. So
the best is like the circles, like the pals that are circles. Like if you kill them on top of a hill, they just go rolling.
Yeah. Do you have you caught any humans? Because I know you can do
I caught
that.
one, just because I know you could. I caught one just to see whatever, but no, not really.
Yeah.
I caught him and then I used the butcher knife to
cut him up and
unlife him.
What?
That's messed up.
Yeah, you can do it with pals too. You can capture a pal and then you can use a butcher's knife.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Okay.
Which really sucked because I didn't know what it did, and I killed one of my pals that was really good. I was just like, "Oh, so that's what it does," which is really funny because what it does is it does like the boxes where it like shades it out so you can't see what's going on.
Yeah.
Does that? You know what's going on, but it doesn't show.
That's crazy. That's intense. I mean, I heard it was a survival game, but to know that you can, yeah, that's crazy. Because I know I tried to catch a person when I tried.
Yeah, you probably tried to catch a cop.
Well, I tried. Yeah, there was a cop near there, and then I got in trouble. But yeah, it's a weird game. Glad that you're still going at it because I'm not gonna play it, and I don't think Adam's gonna play it.
No, it's not my type of game.
I don't think Brand's gonna play it.
It's enjoyable to play by myself.
Yeah,
like I don't have to worry about too much, and like for a survival game, like like with 7 days, like if someone's not sitting in the base and crafting stuff and doing this or building the base, you're pretty much screwed in 7 days.
Yeah.
Where like this, different pals do different jobs. So to grow food, you just need one that can plant seeds and another one that will water it, or a pal that does both, and it'll just sit there constantly making food.
Yeah, that's rad. I mean,
so it takes away from the hassle of having to keep doing things over and over.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. We'll leave Nightingale talk for after, since that's going to be one of our main focuses today. Adam, how's your week been? What have you been playing?
Week has been pretty good. Had an awesome weekend playing some D&D, and been playing, of course, Tarkov, Escape from Tarkov. Just recently got Helldivers. Been a lot of fun. Definitely a game that I feel like we can play as a group. I don't know if I could play it by myself. And then also you recently gifted me Jedi Fallen Order. I've played a little bit of that. I like that a lot so far. I really want to start getting into that. But Tarkov really has me by the reins right now. I can't escape it.
Yeah, you and our other friend Matt, both our friends Matt have been
Yeah.
stuck in Tarkov with you. And Helldivers, yeah, we're gonna talk about that one too. Helldivers and Nightingale are probably the main games that we will talk about this week since they're kind of what's big.
Yep.
But yeah, no, that's awesome, man. It's awesome. I'm glad you're liking Star Wars. I wasn't sure that you were gonna like it, but I figured it's not really a Star Wars game. Like it
Right.
is, but it's more like Dark Souls Star Wars with a great story.
Yeah.
While I feel like most of the other Star Wars games that have come out, they just since KOTOR have not been story driven.
Right. I've only played about an hour and a half of it so far, so I mean, I'm not too far into it, but from what I've played, I really enjoy it. Like, I love the battle, like the different things you can do with your lightsaber, how you can like just block the bullets basically and like kill enemies like that. The
Yeah,
just the fighting style of the game is really cool, so I really enjoy that. And of course,
yeah,
bosses and stuff like that. I love those types of games.
yeah. It's definitely action oriented, and also the thing that's really cool is when you're listening to the stormtroopers and what they're saying, you'll hear like, "Oh, I can take them. Oh crap! Oh crap!" And like,
Right.
it's just real.
Yeah, I think I
It's
saw that
real funny.
there's like a video on TikTok. It was like I don't know if it was like a meme or whatever, and there's a guy like hanging on the side of the cliff. And you hear this guy, he's like, "Yeah, come on over here. Nobody can hurt me." And then he like uses the force and like pulls him off the edge of the cliff, and he dies. It's such a sad video, but it's really funny at the same time.
Yeah, no, it's definitely can be sad with some of the stormtrooper stuff. It is always interesting. What about you, babe? What have you been doing?
I think just escape the back rooms and D&D so far. I mean, I have Nightingale, and I just installed it last night. So I'll probably play that hopefully this week or maybe the weekend. But tonight I want to play more Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Escape the back rooms with friends and D&D with friends. And that's been enough to quench my gaming thirst for the week. So.
Nice.
I'd like to get a group of us this week, maybe like Friday or something, and get some back to Lethal Company, maybe stream it or something. I think that would be kind of fun.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping.
I'm
Yeah.
down.
Lethal.
I know you do like Lethal Company so much.
Yeah.
That or Backrooms, either one. That'd be
Exactly.
fun. That'd be a lot of fun.
I'd like to see. I might have to get on the back rooms and do the first few levels myself because I really want to see what they look like.
Yeah, it's pretty sketchy. Josh
Yeah.
knows about the dog part.
Yeah,
Yep.
see, I got no idea.
Dottie
Yep.
locked him in a room with the dog. He didn't have a
I
good
was just
time.
about crying my eyes out. Yeah, no. He had a good time. I was scared to death. Yeah, no.
What about you, Josh? What have you been up to?
I have been up to quite a bit. I have not been playing as much Persona as I would like, but I did finish Prince of Persia. So before I talk about it, if you don't want to hear about it for the next like minute to 2 minutes, because I'm not gonna do a bunch of spoilers for it, there will be some spoilers. So skip like ahead by like 3 minutes. Yeah, no, I beat Prince of Persia. The game dealt with a lot of like not traveling through time, but like reflections of yourself in time. And you kind of like go through the game. You're trying to change this one thing that happened. The prince died, and you're trying to figure out how to change that from happening. And so in the process of it, you run into your other selves that also were trying to change it in different time periods. But then when you get to the end of the game, the Samog or Samorg or however you say it tells you like, no, those were just like twinkles in your eye. They were possibilities of what could happen, but it wasn't you. Like you were always going to end up this way. It was always fate for you to do this. And those things that you saw and fought were actually just twinkles or like reflections of yourself that weren't really there, but you were in your own like head kind of thing. It was weird,
Right.
but it was a good game. I told my buddy, I was like, buy it when it's like $15. You know,
Yeah.
it's not going to be on my top 10 list. It was a lot of fun. It has a lot of content. The puzzles are super difficult for me, at least. I'm not a big puzzle guy, so like there were times where I just wanted to like quit the game, and I was like, this is getting ridiculous. But I didn't. I got through it. Um, I got all the. Now I'm just working on the endless recordings of doing it, which is taking longer than I wanted. But hey, that's the life I live. And other than that, I played Backrooms with you, and as you said with the dog thing, oh yeah, you guys can come back now. No spoilers on, anymore. So I played the Backrooms for the first time with Adam and Waz and Donnie, and it is the scariest game I've ever played in my life. It is. There's noises that the dogs make in this. Is that the second map or the third map?
That's the first, second, third. It's the fourth one. The third. It's
Okay.
right after the faces part that you had to run through.
Yeah. So first off, they made me go into rooms specifically that they knew was gonna kill me because they thought it was funny. Much like when I played Resident Evil with Shawn and he said, "Oh, go into this room. Go look at that window. It's totally fine." Yeah. I gotta stop believing my friends when they tell me to go somewhere because they're definitely trying to get me killed.
Yeah, I wouldn't trust somebody saying just go, "Hey, go look at that window." That just doesn't sound right.
Well, I thought it was going to be something cool. I trusted Shawn had my back, but no. He wanted a dog to jump out at me. Anything to say, Shawn?
You got to experience the game with the dogs.
Yeah. So, yeah, Backrooms, though, the dogs in that game make, like, the scariest sound I've ever heard. And I don't understand why it's scary to me, but it just, like, hits my core of, like, just fear.
It's like a whimpering, like, woman snarl scream.
Yeah,
like, I can't explain it.
It's super weird. I've never heard anything like it. But the game itself is really good. I'm not good at puzzles again, so like I relied on everybody else to figure out how to beat the puzzles. And then there's another room where you have to get past these like balloon people, and you have to sneak past them, and it was terrible. It was so hard. I forget who made it past. Was it you, Adam?
Yeah, it was me.
Yeah, Adam made it past, but like we just kept dying over and over and over.
You gotta do crazy. Like a specific path, and if you pop any of the balloons, then it attracts them all, and they kill you instantly.
Yeah. So I played that. I played, what else did I play? I played more Assassin's Creed. I did another assassinate mission of one of the big bads. This time it was a doctor or something like that who was an evil doctor. That's game still frustrating to me. I love most of the Assassin's Creed games, but this one is heading towards one that I'm probably just going to be like, it was okay. It's fun to play at times, and other times I'm like, can I just go, kill somebody? Do I have to wait for this? Do I have to figure this all out? But it's pretty good. Other than that, I watched Thanksgiving, which, let me tell you, what a treat Thanksgiving was. And it's funny because I listened to what this movie was because I listened to this podcast called Horror Movie Talk, and they only do horror movies. So they did this when it came out, and they did not like it as much. They thought it was fun, but they didn't like it as much. And I really enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. I thought the deaths were super funny and unrealistic, and it was super over the top, but it was just a really fun ride. I didn't get bored. I didn't want to look at my phone. Some of the deaths even were like made me go, "Oh, that was a lot." Like, and I don't usually do that with like gore or whatever.
Right.
But it was a pretty good movie.
I think the wife and I are gonna watch it hopefully tomorrow, maybe through dinner or something. We
Yeah.
saw it. You can actually find it on Netflix if anybody has Netflix. So that's where we're gonna watch it. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, we're
Right
we're
now
really
it's
excited
on.
to watch that too.
Yeah. No, it's a good movie. Maybe we'll have to do, since we're probably gonna eventually do like some other movies, do in depth ones. Maybe we'll do that one eventually after you guys watch it, and
Yeah, that
I'll
sounds
try
cool.
and get Shawn to watch it
Yeah,
if he hasn't
you
already.
did give it. You said that it's super gory though, like
Yeah,
Evil
I've
Dead
warned.
level.
Yeah, I warned you about it because the gore is over the top, but it's still gore,
Right.
like,
I like
you
those
know.
types. I like those types of movies.
Um, but yeah, definitely give it a watch, especially since it's on Netflix if you have it. Other than that, I watched the first 3 episodes of Avatar: The Last Airbender live action.
And
And I was okay with the first episode. I was even okay with some of the stuff that they changed in the second episode. But at the end of the second episode, they do something that I just can't agree with. And that is, and it's kind of a spoiler, but kind of not. It's Aang cannot go into the Avatar state unless he is in front of a shrine. And that does not make sense to me because in the cartoon, he did not have to be in front of a shrine to go into the Avatar state. He went in the Avatar state quite a few times. So to change it to where it's locked on a single point doesn't make sense to me. So,
I don't have much of an
but
opinion. I haven't seen it.
no,
So.
I know. This is just me. This is just me talking
Yeah.
out loud. But so if you want to watch it, watch it. I gave it 3 episodes, and I don't think I'll continue. There was a little too much later, other than the Avatar state thing, that really bugged me. Um, I do though give credit to the actors because I do think that the little boy who plays Aang actually does a good job, uh, of, you know, acting like how Aang would act. Maybe a little less over the top than Aang in the cartoon, but he's still pretty good. And I thought Katara and Sokka were really good. I thought most of the characters I had seen by episode 3 were good. And the writing was, it's like I told you, Adam, it's writing from a kid's show. So, I
Right.
mean, it's good. It's not like terrible, but I wasn't really I didn't like go into it having a really high standard of like what it was gonna be.
Right. Yeah.
So
I know if Waz was here, he'd have a completely. You guys would
oh
have a
yeah.
discussion about this for 25 minutes, but
Yeah, we'd be going for a while if Waz was here.
yeah, you guys were getting into a little heated discussion yesterday, but yeah, I mean the cartoon was good. I liked it, but if I mean, like you said, if they're trying to do certain things with the live action, I mean, they have to remember a little bit of the kid show as well, or it's just going to be completely different, you know.
Yeah, I think the thing like Waz was saying why people would be upset with it was because One Piece was said to not be able to do a live action, and they did a pretty damn good one
They did a great one. I
for
loved it.
yeah, yeah. And even me, I've watched up to, I think it's episode 721, I want to say is what
Hmm.
I told Waz, of One Piece anime, and I thought that it was pretty good for being a live action. And so to see Avatar, which should be an easier one to live action as long as they follow the same thing, not turn out as well, and it's hasn't done good with reviews and stuff, and it hasn't done good with Rotten Tomatoes or even Metacritic,
Right.
um, is kind of sad. You know, it should have been a slam dunk, and I feel like a lot of people feel that way. But yeah, it's still doing better than Madam Web, so I guess that's okay, right?
Movie's trash, dude.
I never watched it, but I will when it comes out eventually
I have
because
not, but I think we should definitely do like a movie night on that because I think that's a movie we could just completely trash on because
I
Tucker
just
recently watched it and he's like a a horrible movie watcher. He loves watching like bad movies, and he was like, I loved it because it was so bad. So with him saying that, I
Yeah.
know it's a bad movie.
Yeah, I just want to watch it and see if Brand says it's a 10 out of 10.
You know she'll say
I,
10 out of 10.
of course I will.
Yeah.
The less I have to think, the funnier it is, the better the movie gets.
Yeah. I will say this too. It's been very interesting. So me and Waz, when we were talking, I had been setting up lists for like video games I want to play and movies I want to watch on
Right.
a Word document. And Waz was like, "Why don't you just do it in Letterbox and on how long to play?"
Yeah.
So I did, and it's great. Like I have, if you have like a list of movies that you want to watch, or if you have a list of video games,
Hmm.
go to Letterbox and go to how long to play, and you can make an account and just make an easy ass list. And I'd been for years. I've been writing down this stuff, and this isn't a promotion or anything. I just think it's interesting. But yeah, so it's a lot easier for me to keep track of my movies because I watch a lot of
Sweet.
movies. So,
I
but
forgot
yeah.
to I forgot to bring up. I am me and the wife are also watching a series on Netflix called Lock and Key. I don't know if you guys have seen that.
What is that?
Dude, it is so good. It's I don't really know how to explain it. The kid that plays on It,
Yeah.
Jordan. He's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, he's one of the main characters in that movie or on that
Oh,
show.
nice.
And basically it's like this family moves to like this old mansion in Massachusetts, and their father has some like unknown secrets about the past, and they
Okay.
find these keys randomly, and only the kids can hear them.
Oh.
Yeah, and they do like magical things. Like there's one that unlocks the key to their head, and they can like
Yeah.
do things
Oh
in people's
yeah.
heads. They
Lock and key.
lock
That's
and
what you
key.
said. I was like,
Yeah.
what do you say?
I've,
What
s-
word?
I've seen little bits and pieces of it.
Oh, it
It
I've
is
looks pretty
so
good.
good. We're
I've
like halfway through season 1, and it is absolutely amazing. So if anybody wants to watch a good TV show and they haven't watched that, it is really good.
I may end up watching that. That does sound pretty good. I had seen it, but I just never watched it.
That's the same with
I
us. Yeah, we've always seen it on there, and we were just bored one day, and we just started watching it. So like we'll watch an episode or two every other day or something.
Yeah. I also saw that they're I never watched it, but the Spider something Chronicles, they're bringing out a TV show of that, the Spiderwick
Spiderwick
Chronicles.
Chronicles,
Yeah.
dude, I loved that movie. That movie was awesome.
Yeah, I never watched the movie, but they're going to bring out a TV show, I think. It's probably going to be on Prime if I have to guess cuz most TV shows are either on Apple TV now or Prime.
Right. Yeah, I know
Um
I can't remember the name of the character, but one of the little like goblin things, it was played by Seth Rogen. I just always thought
oh,
that was so
nice.
weird that like a kid show, like Seth Rogen was one of the actors or the voice actors in it.
Yeah, no, he does a lot of stuff, Seth Rogen.
Yeah.
Um yeah. Well, that's how our weeks went. Let's get into talking about the two games. So, you know, we can yeah, I don't know. Um let's start with you want to start with Nightingale or Helldivers?
Uh, I'm gonna start with Helldiver since I know a little bit more about that than Nightingale.
Okay. So, Helldivers or Starship Troopers pretty much
Yeah.
is a four-party action game where you are on different planets trying to fight for what is it called, moderator or oh fuck, what's the word,
Democracy.
democracy, but it's
Yeah,
it's managed, there you go, managed democracy.
that's right.
It's a lot of fun. Me and Adam have been playing it. I think I played a little bit more than Adam.
Yeah, I've played
um
about I'd say probably about 2 hours of gameplay.
Yeah, I
But
probably
I've only
played
had it
about
for
like
like 2 days.
7 or 8 hours, I think.
Yeah.
Probably. I stayed up last night till about 1 in the morning playing with some of our friends. So what do you think of the game so far?
I like it. Like I said earlier, I think it's a game that I would only play with my friends, and the only reason I say that is because it's very, very repetitive. Um, you either are going to kill uh like bugs, or you're going to kill the automatrons, and or you have like other subtasks to do, like capture zones or deliver or try to help deliver people to different secure areas within a time frame. um I don't know, it's that type of game that I feel like it's like more like a party game to me, just to have fun and relax with friends, just to mess around sometimes. I do like to take it a little serious. I know Donnie was kind of, you can kill your own teammates and stuff like that, calling airstrikes, and he would shoot Josh and kill, but you can always bring him back in. Um,
Unless it's the last 10 seconds of the
unless it's the
game,
last
but you
10
know,
seconds, yeah.
let's not talk about that one.
Yeah,
Thanks, Donnie.
yeah. And so, I mean, overall, I do like it. It's a nice, relaxing game to go to after I've sweated on Tarkov and I want to punch my screen. But
Yeah.
other than that, I do have a lot of fun with it. It is fun, especially just it's a nice shooting game just to kill waves of things. So nice
Yeah.
little break from other things.
So I find that interesting that you say that Helldivers is repetitive, which I do agree with. It is. You're going down, you're fighting bugs, or you're fighting robots, you're
Hmm.
saving scientists, stuff like that. But Tarkov is very repetitive too.
Yeah, but
So what makes Tarkov feel less repetitive than Helldivers to
okay,
you?
so you're right. I think Escape from Tarkov is repetitive, but I'm finding new things every time I go in there. Like there's something new that I'm going in there for. Like how whenever I find something new, or I find a new gun that I like, or I kill a very high level person and they have really good gear that I've never seen before, that makes me want to go again. You know what I'm saying? Now,
Yeah.
whenever I have to do tasks or stuff, and I'm constantly going through the same thing over and over and over just to get the task done, yeah, that gets repetitive, and that's when I'm like, all right, I gotta take a break and I'll go to something else. But what makes me want to play it over and over and brings me back to it is constantly the higher loot that you're gonna get. There's things in that game I haven't even seen before. Like on labs is like you have to have a key card to go to labs, and then there's loot in there that you can get like $10 million in items in there in just one run. Yeah, I mean it's crazy stuff you can do, and I
Yeah.
haven't even got there yet. So that's why it keeps bringing me back to that. With Helldivers, the reason I think it's competitive, it's or repetitive, it's constantly like you're going in doing this, you're extracting. Okay, let's go do it again, and you're not really. I mean, you're just gaining XP basically and leveling up. I mean, yeah, you do get better gear and new guns. When we got that shotgun last night, I was like, "Oh, dude, this is awesome," and that made me want to keep
Yeah.
playing. But um,
Yeah, I actually just got a new I got an assault rifle
oh, sweet,
today
yeah. So that's, I
before
mean,
I was killed by my teammate. Again, thank you,
of course,
Donnie.
Donnie. But like we were saying last night about the how we could play maybe like 5 to 10 rounds per night, and then I'd be like, okay, I need to take a break or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's just me. I mean, I know a lot of people on TikTok and everything. They're playing this game and calling off work for it and everything. So who
Yeah,
knows?
I think Donnie's that into it already.
Of course he
I
is.
think he's
Guy spent
having
money
a
on the game, bro.
I know. He financed himself as well as was saying. Um but yeah, no, I totally agree. I just wanted to see, this was my way of getting you to answer the question of, is repetitiveness actually in games? So thank you,
There you
because
go.
that was the question that we didn't say last week,
Yeah.
and I had um what's it called, somebody asked like why we didn't go with that question. So, but it's an interesting thing to think about. I do think that both of those games are repetitive in their own
In
ways.
their own ways. I
Tarkov,
agree.
the only thing I don't understand about it is what's the end goal. Like with Helldivers, I understand the end goal, to make all the planets liberated,
Right.
and they'll keep adding bad guys and plan. It's basically a DBZ episode, but in Starship Troopers world, where like defeat 2 bad guys and then the next big bad comes along. But like with Tarkov, it's hard for the repetitiveness in my mind because you're just gathering loot,
Yeah,
but for nothing.
And I think you got to think of it as it's an extraction shooter. So you have just like with Shawn, how he plays Hunt Showdown. Yeah, I mean, you're going in, you're getting loot, and then there's a wipe at the end of the season. So with Tarkov, it's usually like 10 to 11 months. So you're not going to keep this loot forever. Like it's going to go away eventually. Either you use it or you're going to get wiped. Yeah. So there's not technically an end goal to this game.
So both Hunt and Tarkov do like they take all your stuff after a certain amount of time.
I'm pretty sure Hunt does that.
Hunt does not.
Okay.
Now,
Hunt does not. Hunt is not as extreme as that. Like more Marauders would be more of Tarkov. Hunt is a extraction shooter, but it's not where you're going. Like with Tarkov, you're going in. You have missions like, hey, find the laptop or find this key card, and like you're leveling up different vendors. Hunt has nothing like that.
Now, can't you lose your character on Hunt?
You if your character dies, you lose it, but you just purchase another one or recruit another one. And like when you go in, you can just buy whatever gun you like. Everything you can go in with, you can get the same thing. So it's not like you're not going in and you're like, oh shoot, this guy has this gun. I'm going to take that so I can then stash it and use it later because you just buy the gun. So as long as you have money in Hunt, which is super easy to do, you go in with the same gear every single time. And when you leave, you're not really taking people's stuff and things like that, unless you went in with like the primary gun you wanted to, and then you just took a whatever secondary gun because you're not going to use it, and then someone has like a high-end secondary weapon, then yeah, you'll switch that out. But Hunt is more of like a Western PvP shootout kind of game more than it is like a looter shooter. Or extraction shooter. Like, yes, you extract, but the main goal is you find clues that goes to a boss, you banish the boss, and then you're trying to extract, like, the bounty.
Yeah, I remember when I played Hunt, like, it was very PvE. I mean, there is PvP, but banishing the bosses and stuff is, like, a very big deal in that game.
Yeah, and once you do that, that's when PvP mainly happens, because everyone's going to be like, oh, there's the boss layer, they've already killed it. Now we're going to go try to get the bounty.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So they don't, it's not like, it is repetitive. Like repetitiveness in games is definitely a thing, but it's every game. Like it doesn't matter what the game is. Even if you go with Final Fantasy, you go in, you fight a bunch of random stuff, you level up, you fight a boss. Like, yeah, the boss might be different, but the way you fight's the same. You go in, oh, here's another fight scene.
Yeah, that's...
Oh, I need to level up till I get to the next boss. So you sit there and you level up your characters by going into these little battles. You use magic or you summon or you just sit there and slash away. It's repetitive in every single game.
Yeah.
But like with Final Fantasy, it's more story-driven. So if you're into story-driven games, you're going to not pay attention to the repetitiveness. Right. If you're wanting that hardcore PvP /PvE, go with Tarkov, you break a leg, your guy, if you don't heal it, your guy goes in with a broken leg again. Where Hunt, none of that matters. You have a fresh person every single time you go in. You might have to increase your life back up to full health, but it's nothing as extreme as like Tarkov.
Yeah. Yeah, no. I'm hoping Helldivers takes from those two, because it would be cool to kind of have like a monster of the session kind of thing, you know, like Hunt, but also really cool. Have like where you're getting more loot, like Tarkov. Because like when they said it was an extraction shooter, I was hoping that you were gonna pick up a gun and then you'd have that gun,
right?
Like, but it's not. It's you get these like medals, and you can use the medals to open up different guns. Like today I opened up a new assault rifle. Like I said, I haven't used it yet, but it looked pretty cool, and it's on like the 3rd page of what you can get.
Yeah, the way I kind of was getting where I was getting it from was kind of like it's almost like a battle pass, and you get like points for playing, and
Yeah.
then you spend those points on upgrading like different guns, your armor, the way you look, emotes, stuff like that. But I think it
Yeah,
would
the
definitely be cool if they had like crates or something you could find, or like you said, a boss at the end. And then when you kill the boss, maybe kind of like pull it from Destiny. You know how like when you kill a boss in Destiny, like a chest opens and you can like
yeah.
gain stuff from that. I don't know. I think that would be
Yeah,
something
so
pretty cool.
we did run into some new stuff today. We ran into a tank,
Oh
which was
wow.
super hard, and we ran into these things that are like they're called hulks. They're autonomous hulks or something like that, and they just about kicked our ass every time because they're like the size of a fucking building,
Bro,
and they
animatrons
shoot.
are insanely tough. Like when we were playing that last night, that we died so many times. Like
Oh
it
yeah.
was hard.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no. I have better stuff too though. You get better stuff. Like I have a turret that I can shoot out, and I have the mines, and then I have like call in an airstrike, which does pretty well versus
Yeah.
the automatons, and the shotgun really does a good job. I actually had one round where I did my accuracy was like 76.8, which is pretty good for me because I suck at shooting. But yeah, I hope that Helldivers, you know, um, eventually gets to that point where they have stuff like that. I know that they had a lot of trouble with their servers. Their servers are a little bit better now. They moved it up to 70,000 or 700,000 people can be on the server now, which is pretty cool. So it hopefully it helps out. But they were for a while there, and they did not expect the amount that they got for this game, and
When I saw the trailer,
unfortunately,
go ahead.
go
Sorry.
ahead. No, you first.
I was just gonna say, yeah. When I saw the trailer for it, it looked really cool. But then whenever I just saw TikTok after TikTok after TikTok of people playing the game and like the things you could do, I think that's what really pulled the majority of people in. Was like, oh, dude, look at this game. You can literally do whatever you want and kill your teammates at the same. It's like a little party game, basically.
Yeah, yeah, and they only expected from what I heard, they only expected like 50,000 people, I want to say, and it ended up being like 435,000 on like
Wow,
the first day
that's nuts.
or the first week. So they were definitely not prepared because I think the max amount of players in the first one, from what I heard, was like 10,000 players in the first game.
Oh wow.
So like they were not expecting that big of a that big of a jump.
Yeah, I never played the
But
first one, so I didn't even really know what to expect. I just saw a lot of stuff on this
it
one.
yeah, it was a twin stick shooter, so it was a little bit different than this one. It was
Oh,
more top down twin stick.
gotcha.
So they went with a different style for this one, and I think it really worked out for
Yeah,
them because I'm sure as they add more of the stuff from the first game, like more aliens and whatever, it's
right.
probably going to be really good. But at the same time, Bran was telling me she listened about what the robots. I keep wanting to say automatons, but I almost say it wrong. She read or like listened to something about what they're saying when they're fighting you, and it's actually pretty freaking sad.
What? What do they say?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's some dialogues that you can like listen in to
Yeah.
from certain specific robots. I don't think they all say things, but basically a couple of them that I saw were the robots talking about how they were made to do this job, and then they did the job, and then their creators are coming back and killing them when they were promised freedom and the ability to express themselves and live in the universe that they were created in, and they didn't get that. When their job was finished, they're being exterminated, and they don't understand. Some of them don't understand why it's happening to them.
Wow, that's super
And
sad.
so I was
What?
Yeah, so I was listening to some of these. There's quite a few of them that I saw on TikTok, and I was like, that is pretty expressive for a robot.
For real.
Reminds me of Orville.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was pretty cool. I I love the story. I love watching the gameplay of Helldivers. I just don't have it. But have you guys? Well, I'm sure you guys have seen it in the game where they have some of the funnier ones I've seen are when people like they're sneaking up to them and they have their cadence going, like when they're marching or whatever. I think that was pretty funny.
Yeah, I've seen
But
that one. I've seen it on a couple
yeah,
TikToks. I haven't done it myself, but it is pretty funny.
yeah, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
it's like got their own military. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I've seen their troops, especially where we're at playing on medium or whatever. I've seen their troops run around with their in cadence or whatever, like in formation.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah. It's interesting though, because I also saw she sent me a TikTok today of where it's this person talking about how what if the super Earth sent the bugs to these planets, because when you go down to these planets and you're trying to stop like the transmissions, the bugs didn't make the transmissions. They don't have that capability.
Right.
But humans who used to live on that planet do, and they call them illegal transmissions. So did Super Earth just send bugs down there to kill everybody, and then you're there to clean up for the government?
Clean up the mess. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I haven't
So
thought
it's
too much
pretty
about the story, honestly.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Like some people are coming up with some wild theories of what's going on in that game, and it's pretty cool. But in the end of the day, it's still a game. Don't go too far, but
Right.
it's kind of interesting to think about. Um so I know we don't have as much to talk about Nightingale, but I do want to hear like Shawn's first thoughts about it. And I know
would
you're
love
only
to.
like an hour in, but I mean, I got to watch you fly down a hill on a
Yeah, me too.
umbrella like
Mary
Mary
Poppins.
That was
Poppins.
tight.
And
Hell yeah.
I saw the Neebs Gaming special, or not special, but them playing it and some of the stuff that they fought, and that game looks so much fun.
You sold me on Mary Poppins, though.
So yeah, like
I'm not gonna lie.
oh, straight up when I first saw this game, like I'm not even into like half of the stuff that I like are in the trailer. It was like, oh yeah, it's Victorian era. I don't even know like whatever era this is supposed to be, and like they're showing the gameplay, and it was like they build this fucking house, and then this like giant troll just comes in and smashes it. I was like, dope. That's fucking rad. Like all these other games, you're like, easy to protect your base in 7 days. Like a couple zombies come here and there. Or, you take, you know, every session you guys play and you build a giant moat around your base so the zombies can't get to you.
Yeah, I don't know
But-
anybody who's done that before.
Yeah, I don't know why they would do
Yeah,
that.
where'd you
But
get that idea from?
yeah, a giant moat with a drawbridge,
Sean
7
definitely
days.
never built a moat all
No,
the way
I
down to where the
definitely
map beeps at him because he's too far down. That definitely never happened. And he
Definitely-
didn't do it with a
definitely
shovel
didn't-
until he finally got an auger. That's just
Yeah, didn't spend 100 days and 7 days to die building a moat.
yeah, definitely not. So umbrellas.
But yeah, so like then they released a trailer with the umbrella, and I'm like, all right, this game just sold me even
Yep.
harder. I was like, traveling with umbrella, I'm in. But it's cool. So like I just looked at my Steam thing. I'm about 3 hours in. I haven't really been pushing anything like too far in. I think I've done the tutorial, which you use a lot of cards to go to the different elements and realms, but I've only done one outside of the tutorial. But it for me has like a Skyrim Oblivion feel to it with elements of 7 days to die. The crazy thing is like in 7 days to die, if it starts raining, it doesn't matter. You go over into the snow, it doesn't matter. You're over in the desert right now. I know they're supposed to be making it where that matters. It doesn't matter. This game, it could be hailing outside and you're taking damage because you're getting hit by hail.
That's pretty wild.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like all the different elements, like you're in the desert, and I guess with the umbrella you actually have shade all the time, so you don't take that much. But like when you first go to it, it's just like a tutorial level, and your heat index just goes up super fast, and you start dying unless you're in the shade. So it's got all these like super survival stuff that doesn't make the game like over the top hard, but it's just that extra little bit that makes the game to me a little more interesting and makes me want to play it more.
Yeah. Yeah, so
But
with the hail, and I know you have a house that you built, I'm guessing. So what happens when like certain things like that, like hail hits your house? Does it damage the house, or are you fine because it's in a house?
honestly, I would have to look. I never actually looked at any of like the like damaged. Like I did knock a tree over, and it fell on top of the kind of like the box in 7 days. That's like, okay, things won't spawn here. You get one of those in this. So you put that out, and this is like, hey, this is your area. Enemies aren't going to spawn in this area.
Okay.
Now. This is where you'll build. So it has that same thing. I knocked a tree down on it, and it almost destroyed the entire thing.
Oh, that's
Wow.
crazy.
Wow, that's crazy.
So it has that. I think the forest has that, where if like you're building something and a tree falls on it could absolutely just destroy it.
Tree.
Which is cool because that's exactly how it should work. You shouldn't be knocking a tree down, fall on top of you. Actually, you can hire people. I hired this guy, and his job that he does is he chops down trees. He almost killed me because I wasn't paying attention to him, and he knocked a tree on top of me.
So when you say hire, do you mean you caught him with a pow ball and then, released him into your camp, or you actually
I
pay
snuck up
him
behind
money?
him with a shiv, and I stabbed him, and I told him, either I kill you or you. No, you just hire him at one of the little, like, there's like a town, little area. It's actually not even a town. It's like a little temple that there's these two people at. One of them gives you missions, and the other one, you can buy different stuff, different realm cards, and like some of the stuff you kind of learn and then build. Some of the stuff you have to buy from a vendor to then start building it, like different little things.
That's rad. So how many have you gone to any of the other worlds, or have you pretty much just stayed in one?
Sorry.
No worries.
You just let the cat in. You suck.
Oh, well, the cat wanted to visit you. What can
Cat wants to be on the podcast.
Yeah.
Hey, at least it's not.
Cat just
At
snuck
least
in.
it's not Loki.
Probably be easier with the dog.
Okay.
So, anyways, so at the beginning of the game, you go through a tutorial, and honestly can't remember his name. I think it's Puck. It's just that little dude with the mask.
Okay.
He's kind of
Oh yeah.
having you go. He's having you go through. So there's forest, swamp, and desert right now.
Yeah.
He has you go through all three of them, and then just before he gives you the cards, or you get 3 cards, so it's the choice of what biome you want to start with. And clearly I wasn't starting with the desert because I didn't want to have that much of a difficulty. So like you can choose where you want to start. I chose forest just because, when I started the game that seemed to be the easiest area.
That just seems.
So I've been to
That just seems like
the three
like a mess up on your. You could have done the swamp and called your character Shrek.
Nah, I didn't want a Shrek.
You could do that.
No, I don't have the game. You have the game.
Oh, maybe we'll get you the game. You can be Shrek.
I have too many games.
You don't have enough
I
games.
have too.
Yeah.
I have too many. I have to render like 15 more episodes, which unfortunately my internet sucks at rendering, so it takes me like an hour for each episode. I have to do this later. I still have stuff to come up with for D&D, and
But you got 2 weeks.
True.
and
Yeah.
I have to start Banishers. I have to finish Lake. I have to play some more Assassin's Creed and try and beat that.
Yep.
And then there's like 15 other games that are out right now that I need to play through. But I love it.
Whine.
I'm not whining. Oh my gosh. Not whining. I'm just saying, like, I don't need another game to try and get. I would love to play this game. I would love to play Enshrouded. That's another one that looks really good. But I will play Nightingale eventually because that is on the top of my list to play. Like, for sure. Helldivers, Nightingale were 2 of the multiplayer games that I really wanted to play this year. But yeah. We'll see. I say no, but more than likely, if it just shows up on my doorstep, then I will probably be like, well, I guess I'm going to have to. Just like with today, where I was like, okay, I'm going to render videos, I'm going to do this. And then I was like, but Donnie's on playing Helldivers. I guess I'll go play Helldivers. So, yeah, we'll see. Okay, sorry to interrupt you and go off on a tangent. What were you saying?
No, you're good. I don't know.
You were talking about the world that you didn't want to.
That
You didn't
started
want to
in
go to the
forest.
swamp, or the other one you started in the forest.
Oh yeah, I kind of didn't want to, like, now if I was gonna go play with other people, it wouldn't really matter what biome I started in because I understand a little bit more of the game. But starting, I definitely didn't. Like after doing the desert, I was like, I know I don't want to start there because I don't want to die because I'm exhausted from heat or whatever. So I was like, I'll start forest, go with the easiest one.
Yeah. I mean, the forest
But then
probably
it's
has more water. I'm guessing the desert harder to get water and stuff, but probably
you know
more minerals.
I don't I don't think water's a thing, to be
Oh,
honest.
really?
You have like sleep exhaustion and food. Maybe later you do. I haven't come across
Okay, so it runs more like how Green Hell ran, where it's not, um,
a super
yeah,
survival.
it's not water, but you have to worry about your food and your sleep, because Green Hell you had to worry about your sleep or else you started to go insane.
Yeah.
So,
So I don't have a bar for water yet, so maybe that, like I said, I'm not too far into the game. Maybe once you get to a certain point, or maybe when you get into the desert, then that matters. But
yeah.
What are the?
it's cool to.
Sorry, go ahead.
So like 7 days, you have your tool belt where it's 1 through 9, or maybe how many do you have on 7 days?
You have 5, I want to say, 5 or 6, like at the bottom, and then you have a pack.
Yeah, where you can put all your different things on. So this one you have 1 through 0, so you have like 10 items, but it's split into like your weapons and main hand, and then things you can put in your offhand.
Okay.
So like right now, my weapon is like a small hammer, like a war hammer,
And a torch.
and then in the other hand, either you can carry like a torch or your umbrella or a healing item.
Nice.
That's pretty cool.
So it
That's
kind of so it gives you that little extra. Mainly, you're running around with the umbrella because it protects you from like the rain and because you get wet. I don't know if it's like acid rain and if you because they're like you have like a meter for everything. So like when you're in the desert and you got the heat, it starts going up, and once it passes half, then you start taking damage. Well, wet is another one. I'm like, I don't know what that means, but I'm gonna go in my house.
Maybe it's like a hypothermia thing. Like
Yeah,
when you get
that's
too
what I would
wet,
guess.
Maybe,
too cold, you know?
maybe, could be.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I would guess is that it's like, well, you're soaked, so you're cold.
Yeah.
I know how that feels.
Yeah.
Also, when I was watching you, Shawn, I thought that the inventory looked like V Rising, the inventory from the game V Rising. And I know you didn't play V Rising, but originally when I watched you, I was like, oh, he's playing V Rising, and then you weren't. So I was kind of surprised. They look pretty similar.
Yeah, it's kind of like a standard survival inventory where you can put it however you like. If you want to alphabetize it and put it in your way or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of a generic, just here's your inventory. Build a little thing. Here's where you're going to store your inventory.
Yeah.
Cool.
No, it seems super rad. I think the game is probably going to be a lot of fun. I know it's early access right now. You can get it for 10% off, I think, right now.
Yeah, it was like $26 right now or something
Yeah.
like that.
I know Waz was watching you play it, and he's like, I'm going to get it now since he saw you play it. But yeah, it's an interesting game, and I think it's only going to get better. Hopefully it keeps adding new things, and we'll see what happens when the 1.0 comes out. So,
Yeah.
anything else to say about the game?
Nope.
No?
I was gonna
Okay.
ask what is the weapons like in that game? Like what type of weapons can you get, or do you even know yet?
So far I've had like a hunting knife, I've found the craftable book or whatever it was for a mallet, and then the little warhammer I
Okay.
have. I've seen people with like maybe muskets.
Oh, cool.
I know I've had things that you're supposed to be able to put on to like your weapons to enhance it that are talking about like magicka. So I don't know if there's magic in the game because I haven't got that far, or if it's just like, I don't know. So I haven't really got too far into tell you 100% what every.
Are there classes in it? Like how 7 Days has like classes at a certain point where you can put points into?
No, there's no like skill tree as of now. They might. I'm assuming at some point they will, because it seems like a game that does need a skill tree, but not that I've seen.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome.
Sweet.
It sounds like it's a good game. I mean, I'm super interested in it. I don't know about Adam. but
Yeah, I definitely am. I think I'm probably gonna get it.
Yeah, it seems like it's. I mean, for $26 to be able to play it early access and get whatever content comes out later,
Right.
that seems like awesome to me, at least. But yeah, so that's Nightingale and Helldivers, and this is a way to trick your friends into spending 56 minutes to talk about video games and movies when they say, "Oh, it's not going to be that long of an episode." This is how you do it. Did you see that?
It
You see
didn't
those
feel that
tricks
long
that I
to me.
pulled?
I like
Did
talking
you
about
see?
that stuff.
No, I know. Trust me, I was sitting here like smiling and laughing to myself. I'm like, yeah, short episode, my toot.
That's what happened last week with me and Waz.
Yeah.
A couple times, Josh was like, "Okay, the podcast is over," and both of us just kept talking. We were like, "No,
Nope.
Yeah.
Not over.
Yep.
talking."
So yeah, next week Adam will not be here. He's gonna probably be on every other week. So just so everybody knows,
Unless
for
it's
future reference.
an awesome week that, like, if it's my off week and I want to or something, then
Yeah.
I'll join up. But
No.
yeah, next week I got some stuff to do at church, so probably
Yeah,
won't.
he's got
won't be
some other commitments.
on. Yep.
So that's awesome. We hope that his stuff at his church goes well.
Yes.
But I just wanted you guys to know that he will not be here next week. Waz should be back next week. I'm pretty sure Shawn will be here. I almost called him Waffle. And Brand and me will.
You've done that more.
I know. I'm used to it. Brand and me will be here. I'll always be here to talk. I probably talk too much, but I try and give everybody their time to talk. So we do, or well, I do. I have two things that I want to do. First thing is I want to play a little game with Shawn and Adam because Brand can see my screen, so she can't play.
Oh, you could have told me. I would have looked away.
Yeah, no, you wouldn't have.
Peter.
Can I still play?
No.
All right.
So, I want you guys. I'm gonna name 5 games, and I want. First, we'll go with Adam, then we'll go with Shawn.
Oh God.
You to tell me in what order on Metacritic from 1 to 5 are these games
Okay.
for this year.
Let
this
me,
is gonna go
yeah,
And this
horribly.
is the
well.
top games
Let me
so
bring up a
far
notepad
for
so I can kinda
2024.
keep track of this. Go ahead.
Okay. So the games are Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, The Last of Us Part 2 remake, Tekken 8, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, and Balatro. Now, out of those games, if you need me to say them again, I can.
So we have Final
Number them.
Fantasy, Last of Us,
Final Fantasy-
Tekken, Infinite, and Balatro.
Balatro, which is a gambling game.
I've
Poker
never even heard
roguelike.
of that. So.
Yeah,
I was gonna say
I had neither till
Never
this
heard of
week. Um,
I'm guessing that's number 1 since we've all not heard of it. Probably number 1.
what we'll start with Adam. Adam, name 1 through 5. Which one do you think is? I'll say it. Number 1. What do you think number 1 is?
We'll go with Balatro. I'll do that.
Balatro.
Balatro.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know why I keep saying Balatro.
What do you think is number 2?
I'd say Last of Us Remake,
Okay. Number 3.
Infinite,
Okay. Number 4.
Tekken, and then Final
Okay.
Fantasy.
Final Fantasy is number 5.
Yeah.
All right, Shawn, number 1. What do you think number 1 is?
Same thing, that
Balatro?
Bellatro or whatever. Balatro,
Number
yeah,
2?
some stupid gambling game. Probably Final Fantasy.
Okay, number 3.
Tekken,
Okay, number 4.
Infinite, whatever.
Okay, number 5.
Whatever
Last
the
of
line
Us?
is.
Fantasy. Or yeah, Last of Us.
Yeah, Last of Us.
Okay, so we're going to go through this. You guys are going to write which points you got, and then we'll see who wins. It may be a tie, actually. I'm not going to lie. So I'm going to start from 5 and go down, okay? Number 5, Balatro.
Okay.
Number
Oh,
4,
really?
Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. I think Adam got that one.
Yeah, I did.
Shawn, I think
Yeah.
Shawn got that one too.
No.
I got
You
that
did?
one, yeah.
So you
Yeah.
both got 1 point. Number 3, Tekken.
I got
Number
it.
2, The Last of Us Part 2 remake. And number 1, Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth.
I got
So how many points did you all get?
I think Adam won.
I got,
I only
I
got
got
2.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's tie.
Yep.
Oh, interesting.
I got
We'd have to go
Okay.
back. I'd have to
Tekken
make
and
sure,
the-
but I'm pretty sure I got 2.
Okay, so you both got 2. Here's what we're going to do. It's going to be the tiebreaker, okay? I'm going to name 4 games, and you guys need to
Okay.
choose which one is number 6.
Okay.
Persona 3 Reload, Shiren the Wanderer, Spirit Hunter, or Prince of Persia.
Oh,
I say Prince of Persia.
Okay. Shawn?
probably the other remake. What was that one?
Persona 3 Reload.
Yeah, seems like all the remakes are making top of the list because people can't think of new games to make.
And the winner is
None of us, 'cause we're both wrong.
Shawn.
Hey!
Persona 3 Reload.
Nice.
So that was my first time trying a game. I just thought the Metacritic thing was pretty funny.
No,
Let
that's
me
So-
cool. That's cool.
play next time.
Okay, next I'll make a game that you can play next time.
Just tell me to not look at your screen.
Okay. All right, and then I have
Yeah,
a
before you
couple
start.
couple news articles. I guess Baldur's Gate 3 devs are working on cross-platform mod support. So there's going to be some mods for cross-platform, hopefully Xbox and PlayStation, for Baldur's Gate 3, kind of like how Skyrim works, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
I mean, this isn't really a news article, but I mean, Suicide Squad game fell short of expectations. That
That's
I don't think
surprising.
any of us thought any different. Lady Gaga is going to be a character in Fortnite,
Yeah, I'm assuming she's gonna be doing a Fortnite
Oh.
concert.
probably.
All I
Probably.
care about is Juice World, and I don't want to hear anybody else's name until Juice World's on Fortnite. And then I'll be happy.
I mean, that could happen.
It definitely
they
could happen.
also-
They've talked about it, but
Also, from what I heard, on oh my gosh, I heard it on a podcast. I forget who it was. It was Alex Navarro that said it, I think, or Vinny Caravella.
yeah.
They were talking about how Fortnite is going to be bringing the guitars back for like the Rock Band type guitars for their new music thing that they have on the Fortnite stuff.
Yeah, they kind of already have that though.
Yeah,
don't
it's
they?
No,
gonna
they
be
don't.
like the new rock.
They
band
don't.
Guitar
They don't
Hero.
have the guitars. They're in the works of making them.
The making. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I know. Like with the Eminem thing that they had, you actually like I was playing. I actually did the little concert thing, and you had like a little, I guess Guitar Hero thing pop up, but you had to use WASD, and it was kind of confusing.
Yeah. One that caught me off guard, I guess Dead Island 2 is now on Game Pass, but the unfortunate thing is it's only on Xbox. So it's
Oh,
not
what?
on the PC version of Game Pass, it's only on the Xbox version of Game Pass right now, as far as I know.
I didn't know there was a difference.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, there's a few games that have been like that. Bye, Brand. And like, I think one of them was I can't remember. It's one of the kind of like H1Z1, but it's not that one. I can't remember.
Yeah.
It's only on the console version, not PC.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I thought when they,
And I'm sure there's
I
plenty of games that are PC only, but those are probably games that are only for PC in the first place. But
yeah.
yeah, I was kind of surprised that one was like, no, we're not going to console, or we're only going to console.
Yeah, I've always been surprised that on the PC version of Xbox Game Pass that they didn't port over Fable 1 through 3. I always thought that they would do that eventually, but they have not. That you can only play on the Xbox. Another one is Nightingale's getting an offline mode. So that should be interesting. Pal World is now past 25 million players.
Cool.
That's insane to me.
Yeah.
And apparently I didn't see this one till right now, so I'm only reading the article's title. So I'll have to look into it and we'll get back to y'all next week about it. But Paragon came back in 2024 and died immediately after. So they brought the game back, which Paragon was a MOBA in 2018, and it did not do as well as they wanted, so they shut it down. Apparently in 2024 they brought it back again and shut it down again. So
they were just trying to see how well it was.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. So that's the news. The Helldivers thing I said earlier, they upped their cap to 700,000, which seems to have worked for the most part. I got into it today right away. I got into it last night right away. So hopefully that continues to be the case. And yeah, thank you all for coming in, listening to this, and listening to all of us just ramble about nerd shit. And I hope you guys all have a good night. And everybody else, go and say goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Have a good one. Like, follow, subscribe, and fuck off.
Yeah. All right, everybody shut off your recordings.
No.